Well-being is constantly making its way to you. There is no source of poverty. And if you have not learned thoughts that slow or restrict it, that's what I want to highlight. Something that's been coming through so clearly for me lately is that everything I am experiencing and repeating and creating are as a result of what I have learned. What's exciting about the fact that it is learned is that you can learn anew. Welcome to the Manifesting Millions podcast, where we talk about manifestation, money, and practical guidance to creating your dream reality. My name is Amy Van Meel, and I am an experienced coach and transformation guide, obsessed with helping you get out of your own way and create a life that blows your mind each day you wake up. My goal in this podcast is to share practical manifestation, self-awareness, and growth techniques in real talk conversations. So if you're ready to massively transform your reality, your finances, your relationships, and your overall enjoyment of life, you are in the right place. I am absolutely delighted that you're here with me today, babe. Let's get into it. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Manifesting Millions podcast. I am so grateful that you are here with me today. I don't know if I say this enough, but I want to just take a moment before we dive into anything else to send you my deepest gratitude for tuning in. If you're a regular listener, thank you so much for being here with me every week. It is a joy for me to be able to just like sit down and share in this way. Um, and that joy is met by you being on the receiving end and capturing, hopefully learning and expanding from what I share. So I just want to say thank you. I am in a space of processing and trusting that source is going to show up for us today. It always does, because what I am sharing with you is still integrating into my knowledge. But I was doing my reading this morning. So I spend every morning when I have my coffee, which is the first thing I do after I get up and like brush my teeth and stuff. I take my coffee, I sit down and I do some reading. And I've got 4 books on the go right now. And it's just a matter of, what am I feeling called into reading in that day? So I've started reading, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Esther Hicks or Abraham Hicks, but they wrote a book called Ask and It Is Given. I don't even know. I probably knew that she had written a book, but like it wasn't on my radar to read. It literally just came a few days ago. I was jonesing for something a little bit different. I'm like, there's just like something like what I'm reading right now isn't quite resonating. What am I after? And I use the Libby library app. I've mentioned that a few times. I super love it. And I just started searching words. So I'm like, okay, well, let's search money. Maybe there's something that I want to be learning about money that like is trying to come through, and nothing was resonating. And then I typed in manifestation. I don't think I've ever searched for manifestation. And of course, there's like lots of books. And in the list, somewhere probably like 20 or 30 books down, was this Ask and It Is Given. And it just resonated with me. When the giggle of like, oh, the angels sang like, ah, it was kind of that sort of moment, not like this giant epic thing, but it was like, oh, let's read that. So today's episode is coming as a result of following that guided action. And I want to share a paragraph with you that is actually, it's going to be a couple paragraphs that is going to frame up what I want to share with you. So, Esther Hicks writes, "You may offer thoughts that disallow the natural flow of your abundance, although there is no source of poverty. Well-being is constantly making its way to you. If you have not learned thoughts that slow it or restrict it, you are experiencing it in all areas of your life. It does not matter where you currently stand in relationship to anything you desire. By paying attention to the way you feel and by directing your thoughts to better feeling thoughts, you can again achieve vibrational harmony with the well-being that is natural to you. Remember, as extensions of pure, positive, non-physical energy, the more in vibrational harmony you are with you, the better you feel. For example, when you are appreciating something, you are a vibrational match to who you really are. When you love someone or yourself, you are a vibrational match to who you really are. But if you are finding fault with yourself or another, you are, in that moment, offering a vibration that does not match who you really are. And the negative emotion you feel is your indicator that you have introduced a vibration of resistance and that you are no longer in the state of allowing your pure connection between the physical you and the non-physical part of you. Highly recommend the book. I think I'm on like chapter 7, and it's like a 500-page book. So I'm super excited about the further insights and learnings and awarenesses that are going to come through. But there's a few things that I want to highlight. First of all, right at the beginning of the quote that I shared, that well-being is constantly making its way to you. There is no source of poverty. And if you have not learned thoughts that slow or restrict it, that's what I want to highlight. Something that's been coming through so clearly for me lately is that everything I am experiencing and repeating and creating are as a result of what I have learned. And here's what's exciting about that. It's first of all, it's super easy to get into like victim mode here and this sense of resignation and be like, well, it wasn't my fault that I learned this. Like I learned this from my parents or I learned this from my teachers or whatever. But what's exciting about the fact that it is learned is that you can learn anew, right? You can learn a better way, a different way, a way that will actually bring you into alignment with what it is that you desire to experience. So that's very exciting that we are constantly learning. Science has proven the neuroplasticity of the brain. It does not matter how old you are always able to learn. You need to make the choice and the decision to do so, but that's available for you. So if you've been like me, really feeling like, fuck, like I feel like nothing that I experienced when I was younger seems to really have set me up for the specific dream that has been on my heart for so long. Here's your first note to just say, hey, that's something that you learned. And because it's something that you learned, you can learn a different way. This is why I have set up the Wealthy as Fuck Money program in the way that I did. I want to, it literally starts with cracking open your learning, what you have learned historically, to create the shift in your foundational knowledge, which then allows you to shift and expand your entire relationship with money. There's a reason that I set the program up the way that I did. Now I want to take this episode into the direction of the sentence, that's a better word, that says, as extensions of pure, positive, non-physical energy, the more in vibrational harmony you are with you, the better you feel. I want to talk about that for the remainder of this episode. I know I'm not alone in this desire to feel good, this, I'll call it pursuit of happiness, of joy, of love, of peacefulness. And somehow, what I find comical, and I've been asking the question of like, why do we fight it though? Somehow we are like taught or modeled or I don't know, suggested or all of the things that it's just not possible to be in a state of joy and happiness and harmony all the time. And in fact, it's not realistic. And if you are, focused on always feeling good, you're like super naive and like, oh, isn't she super naive and innocent? Oh, must be nice. And you know what? It is nice because that's literally what we want. So I've really fought against this idea that feeling good is the way into our desires. I don't know why. Perhaps the learning will come through at some point, and I'll share that on a separate episode. But what I want to highlight here is that for some reason, we feel this almost need to create resistance. And when we focus on things that don't feel good, now there is, I could unpack this for hours, and I'm going to do my very level best to keep this short. There is a sense of reward that we get when it relates to feeling bad. I'll say feeling low frequency emotions. Okay. So there is something that comes as part of that. Think about, I'll give you a super simple example. Think about if you're on a weight release journey and you are craving chips. You're like, okay, fuck, I just want to stuff my face in a whole bag of chips. You know that it's not aligned with what you're desiring to create. And yet there's this deep craving to have it. Now, yes, of course, we can talk about the physiology. Your body may be looking for some salt or whatever. It also, much more likely, is looking for comfort or a sense of joy because we have been taught that we are allowed to have those through the consuming of food. Don't get me started on it. It's a whole thing. But let's say you do stuff your face in the bag of chips. You eat however much it is that you desire to eat, probably even a little bit more because you're trying to feed this hunger inside that says I just want to feel this. And then afterwards, you feel guilt, shame, frustration, resignation, whatever, about the fact that you made the choice to have the chips. That loop, that whole thing is giving you something. It is benefiting you in some way. That's part of when I have the workbooks in Wealthy as Fuck. Part of what gets uncovered as part of your inner work to go, what is it that's that I'm gaining out of this? Because I promise you, you are gaining something, and that's why you keep doing it. So when we think about this need, or desire is not quite the right word, but I'm going to use desire for this particular moment, this desire to be in low frequency emotions, it's giving us something, even as it's holding us out of the alignment with our truest, most abundant self. And I suppose I want to end on that today. If we can recognize ourselves as soulful beings, as extensions of source, universe, God, pick your word, that we are at the very heart of ourselves, outrageously abundant, joyful, happy, loving, high frequency beings, and that is our actual true nature. So if we can accept that and understand that, and then bridge that understanding into the recognition that when we are when we are holding thoughts, when we are sitting in emotions and really feeding in emotions that feel yucky, we are disconnecting ourselves. We are actively disconnecting ourselves from the truth of who we are. And I know that, like, there are so many people who are going to try to tell you that, just focusing on feeling good is not a strategy to create your dream life. And I suppose to clarify that a tiny bit, yeah, you can't just like sit in bed and do nothing and go nowhere and then expect that, like, if you just lie there and go like, "Oh, I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good," that, like, things are going to come into your way, cuz there is, of course, the law of action that is part of that. It is part of the co-creative process. You can't just go, "Okay, universe, you got to make everything happen, and I'm just going to sit here on my lumpy butt and like do nothing." No, and it also doesn't feel good, right? Imagine if you are just lying in bed. That's all you're doing. You're physically fine, all right? So you're not sick. You're not in bed because like you literally can't function. You are physically fine, you are physically healthy, but you're just lying there and you just are like, "Okay, I'm just going to feel good and things are just going to flow to me." It sounds amazing. It sounds like, "Well, Amy, like why wouldn't I want to have that?" But I want you to really play that out and notice that it actually doesn't feel that good. There is a sense of fulfillment, of joy, of um, the like active participation in the experience when we are in that co-creative state, when we are taking the actions and doing the things, not from a place of hustle, not from a place of like have to, should, right? All that kind of gross energy, but this place of like when I bake a cake, I could lie in bed and just envision this cake showing up and how good that would feel. But there is joy in the creation and in the process of bringing this cake from all these, um, the word has run away from my face, but like all of these separate ingredients into this beautifully coalesced experience that is this cake that I've created. There's joy in that experience. And what I want to encourage you this week is just to like play with um, allowing yourself to tune into the heart of you and notice that when you actually tune into the heart of you, abundance just is. It's not a question of worthiness. It's not a question of deservingness. It just is. It's just there. The universe doesn't question whether or not it's worthy or deserving of existing. The moon isn't hanging in the sky like, "Okay, am I worthy of showing up today? Am I worthy of shining today?" The sun doesn't go, "Am I worthy or deserving of shining and sharing my light and my warmth with like the entire galaxy?" No, it just is. It just is. Source is. It just is the source of abundance. And I'm going to end it with this last reminder. You may offer thoughts that disallow the natural flow of your abundance, but there is no source of poverty. There's nothing in the universe that says, poverty is something that has to happen. That's something that we literally create. We create us in our amazing infinite ability and complete and total and absolute freedom to choose. We are choosing to create that. So if you are in this space where you're like, I am not enjoying what I am currently creating, this is your gentle reminder that you are choosing to create that. Now, what I want to just share as we close here, if you are tired of choosing that and like, you're like, okay, this is enough, but I don't know how to shift. I don't know how to choose differently. And nobody around me seems to be like supportive of where I want to go. I have got you. That is why I have my coaching packages available for you. There are two options for you. One is just the singular 90-minute one-on-one coaching session. Super great if you want some quick, fast shifts and some takeaways that you can play with on your own. Definitely recommend that 90 minutes. But if you want to go deep, if you want to really learn and practice and be supported as you discover how to tap into the natural flow that is you, and how to shift your choices and how to shift your perspective in order to be in more I don't want to say deeper, but more connected, I suppose, alignment with the true nature of you, then I definitely recommend the 3-month coaching package, because it is all about repetition. You could book like a 90-minute one-on-one every month if you want to, which is also great. Like, we can definitely do that, but I definitely recommend jumping in with me in the 3-month container, because, oh my goodness, you get such amazing dedicated support from me. And when you actually make that decision and take that specific inspired action, the universe responds, because you are so clearly saying, I'm ready for more. I am willing to do the work. I'm ready and open to the shift. Let's do this. So the links for both are in the show notes. But it is amyvanmeal.com/next level for the 3-month coaching. And then it's amyvanmeal.com/coaching for the 90-minute session. My loves, thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you so much for everything that you bring and offer into the world. Literally, you existing is already creating such joy. I want to just share this last little story. So I am in this very special group for about 3 months. There's a person in this group who I don't know, never met them, have no contact or connection with them. But somehow every time I see their name pop up, I feel such joy in seeing them there. It doesn't make logical sense to me because, like I said, I don't know this person. I've had no specific contact or like relationship with this person. But it's just, if I see them interacting on another comment, or they've joined a meeting that I'm in, or like they've commented, or even just like liked something that I've shared, it's this one person. I don't know why, but I feel this deep joy in seeing them there. I want to just let you know that you are that joy for someone. You might even be, and probably are, that joy for multiple someones. That when they think of you, when they see your name, when your face pops up in a picture or on a social media post or whatever, they feel joy in being in that space of connection with you. And if you were not here, if you were not existing in the way that you are, then that source of joy would not exist either. So literally, by you just existing, just being, you are bringing joy and expansion and love into the world. And that is an amazing gift. So thank you for that gift of you. My loves, I will see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform. and help me reach more like-minded people who are ready to expand their life. If you haven't yet followed me on social media, find me on Instagram for extra love and inspiration by following at Amy Van Meel or visit my website at amyvanmeel.com. I love you so much, babe, and I am damn proud of you. I am already excited to connect in the next episode. And in the meantime, believe in yourself with the confidence of a 5-year-old.